Finally, it's stabilized. Okay. Welcome to another Chess 24 Blitz Banter. So the time is Sunday, 25th of September, 2016, 12:30. And if you want to challenge me, if you start at 12 o'clock, I'll be in the lobby at around 12 and you can start challenging. So I'm going to accept the first challenge from Night Flight. Okay, Night Flight, I hope he's ready. I hope when you challenge me to do the tick box, you know, for automatically creating a game, I'll just make a note of that on stream, the chat. When challenging, use tick box to create game automatically. So I'm not, see, we had this last week. Okay, I'll try, maybe he can challenge me. Oh, sorry, I'm white. I have the white pieces. Okay, sorry. It would help to actually play the first move if you have the white pieces. Pardon me. Okay, so we have a Smith-Morrow Gambit with a blocked-in bishop on d3, which you might think is a bit odd. The d3 anti decline system is quite interesting. So let me see if I castle. Right, this doesn't look like I've got anything particularly going on for me here at the moment. I'll pretend as though the e5 break might be of some significance, so I'm putting my pieces towards e5. Alright, so, I mean, quite often the bishop, I mean, it's nice to swap off that bishop, but for the moment, yeah, I'm not doing that plan of bishop h6 because I haven't really made any effort to try and exchange off the dark square bishop. It's blunted by this pawn on c3 in any case. So for the moment, maybe I'm just going to drop this bishop back and see if any weaknesses emerge, if my opponent wants to volunteer any weaknesses or not. So this bishop's blunted, this bishop's like blocked in. I think I would think about a minority attack if I was black. With the minority of pawns here, you can try and fracture this majority with the dreaded minority attack. Not to be confused with Minority Report, which is an interesting film. So knight d4. When you try and play a minority attack, you're basically trying to isolate this one and this one. Like you can imagine a6, b5, b4 taking on c3. All right, now here, okay. Do I want to play aggressively? I probably do, but I'm going to get my king away from this diagonal because any f4, I'm going to be weakening d4 quite significantly. You could even take and then knight c6. But maybe I'm going to go for this now because actually maybe there's e5 there blunting that bishop. So knight takes, pawn takes, knight c6. I think I've got e5 there. Okay, so this position, huh? I'm tempted to play b3 and just hope for the best and play e5 after. Now that would be losing material. What about just a3 for the moment? Gives me the option of bishop a2. So this bishop can sneak itself on this diagonal, putting pressure immediately on c4. I like the kind of general harmony of the pieces here. Yeah. Interesting, because b4 here would seem to be winning a pawn. Actually, that forcing move, and then bishop takes c4. If takes, there's a nasty pin. I suppose you can take on d4 after. Even so, I think this b4 is interesting here. Alright, it's not winning a pawn. Can I try and loosen this knight on c4 with a4? Putting pressure on b5 now. Okay, can I not take here? That would be loosening the c4 knight if I can take on b5. Yeah, I think this is interesting. So this position, I could take on a6. He could take on c3, rook c1. I'll try and be greedy. I'll take on a6. Knight e3. Hold on. There's knight e3. Whereas rook takes d4 there. With queen c3, queen e3. I'll do this. Alright, we have an interesting position emerging. I think I like the pawn on b7. If I'm losing the exchange here, I've got a lot of pawns. I've got one on b7, which I really like. And kick this guy out of there. Probably causes some trouble mating that. Yeah, I'm just wondering about this kind of position with bishop d5 and rook a8. There's bishop c6 here for e6. Rook a8 starts to put the pressure on e6. On e6, that's the question. No, bishop c6. I just blundered that bishop. Let's go back here to attack this guy. I've got to make a square for my bishop. h4 is not available to a technical point. If bishop e1, maybe rook e2. I mean, it's okay to be the exchange down, but losing another bishop is a bit careless. The exchange down here with this pawn on b7, I'm not too terrified of. Let's do something with this bishop. Bishop a7, try and win back the exchange. Now bishop c5, I think I've got extra pawn mobility. I'll probably just play, I'll try and win back the exchange first. Because actually that means rook a8 anyway. It's going to be pretty crushing. Bit of a scare with that f6. Yeah, thanks, knight flight. Thanks, knight flight. Okay, let's go on to the next game. Hawk Slayers. Hawk Slayers. Oh, whatever. Okay, I'll try. All right, this system. I'll play for d5, bishop f5. I once had a game against Plaskett in this line where he just played like bishop f5 and had a solid position. It was a good game, and maybe I had some drawing chances. But yeah, I just remember him playing just classically, basically, and just getting a really good position with an early bishop f5. So the Trompovsky was championed by Julian Hodgson, who won the British Championship 3 or 4 times of it. I think I've told the story before that he took his chair to it. Is he going to actually accept that? Because I don't know, that could be interesting. I think it's quite dangerous to take it. Well, I hope it's dangerous. Already, I mean, this diagonal. Am I playing in a totally unsound way? If he loses control of c4, for example, then I get a knight to c4. Knight c4 here. I'm going to lose that pawn. I'm going to take an unnecessary risk. Does he take with the queen? I've got knight c4 if he takes queen. It takes the pawn. I might have taken unnecessary risks here. He's giving me a chance because this is a good move surely at hitting the bishop. It means queen a1 for queen b2. If queen b3, maybe rook a2. So this is giving me a key tempo on b2 basically. If bishop c5, there's also bishop b6. Is this bishop going back? This looks dangerous for a rook. a2. This position after queen b3, rook a2. So I've kind of done a fishing pole style attack here. If I can take on b2, I think it's like end of the game. I mean, queen b4, there's no checks after. There's no king escape. Yeah, rook b2 looks crushing. Probably play rook b2 here. Save time on recapturing. So queen b1 threatens, or rook b1 is mate. I got a Starbucks coffee mug here. I don't know if you've seen that. Yeah, well, you probably do. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Yeah, interesting game, that one. Okay. I think it's always quite dangerous, that fishing pole stuff. In Blitz, especially. So all this dough. Let's play a Scotch game actually. I've been against this. I'm just going to do this because I have this belief that this is all white needs to do generally. Sometimes. Might be wrong. Alright, I'll take here on d4. What I mean is this diagonal's already been weakened, so black's already kind of weakened themselves quite early on. But am I going to get misplaced knights? Can I actually play knight h4 without losing everything? If I can get to play g3, then knight's got g2 at least. If bishop g4, bishop e2, I'm trying to weaken these light squares anyway. That's my mission, so I don't mind the light square bishops coming off because I'm looking at this diagonal basically with this quite, but I believe aggressive, idea that you don't need to do that much. But he's closed up that diagonal. I wonder about g4. This could be fun. g4, g6. I'm giving myself g2. I could castle queenside. The aggressive pawn chain like this, if I castle kingside, yeah, I mean, it could be used for some aggressive thing. g6, you know, I've got knight g2 to f4 later. If I play bishop e3 and castle queenside, I think bishop g5 just c6 is not going to help to put pressure on d5. Maybe bishop b4 is actually a concern if I play bishop e3, bishop b4. Maybe bishop d2 is better. I could just test this because actually he's weakening these squares if he's going to take on c3. Yeah, the knight's on the rim is dim, but I can get it back to the center, and actually it will be hitting this queen b5 check here, knight c6, queen b7. Okay, I'm going to go pawn hunting. I think it might be, I hope it's interesting to go pawn hunting. Sometimes if I can't refute it immediately, I'll go for it. Strengthening d4. So this knight's hit, but I'm on the rook, you know. If he takes here, I'm on the rook. Yeah, okay, my knight can go back to g2. I think just queen e6 here. If king f8, bishop h6. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the game there. Interesting one. Very aggressive. I like that. I think the d3 system is basically saying you're just looking forward to that diagonal. Super Kramnik. I've just pressed decline, haven't I? Wish these would be removed. I've just pressed decline. Can Super Kramnik challenge me again? Oh, blimey. Is he around on stream? Oh, Muppets. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I'll try and play him on the next game. I'll try this line, which was mentioned to me in a Blitz session I used to have with someone at Curry Place, who was about like 195 ETF. And he got it from a Kasparov game where Kasparov apparently used it. So the exchange French with a quick c4 and possibilities of casting queenside. So I got pressure on d5. I think Black might be improvising. There's a giveaway here from the clock usage. Mind you, it's a 3-minute game as well. Okay, it's a 3-minute game. Gotta be quick. Try and create some dark square weaknesses. And mind you, g6 supports bishop f5 quite quickly. Didn't expect that one. Oh, maybe a castle here. Now f4 bishop, well, I can take there and then bishop d2. Maybe I want to tuck my king away first. Oh, knight e5 looks very powerful here. Mind you, bishop e6. Okay. I'll play the check first. I thought bishop e6 was going to be played. And so I might be threatening bishop, well, f7 based tactics. There's also fishing pole possibilities. Well, actually h4 would be perfectly okay to h6. I think rook c1. Basically I'm threatening, what am I threatening? Okay, I have to go back. Threatening c4 now. I can attack this knight, can't I? With king b2. So knight b5, c4. Surely that's not intended, this position, because after c4, now queen takes d2. I have to protect the bishop first if I want to do that. How will I do that? Rook c2, rook d1. Probably rook c2 to keep the rook on h1 for h4 if needed. So knight b5, probably rook c2 with the threat of c4. Okay, I'll keep that there. I don't mind this dynamic stuff. Protects d2 for c4. Well, e6 I'm going to take. And just attack the queen now on both knights. Yeah. Thanks for the game, Butterfly. Kramnik student, sorry, Super Kramnik, sorry about that. Take you next. There's a blunder on accepting. Super Kramnik. Right, so we have standard system startup. Fanny. Maybe I can switch the queen to over there. Maybe. Not now. A bit of a cramp. In fact, what am I doing here? Try and break the bind because I don't like it, basically. Get the queens off. Yeah, it's a measly pawn, it is. I'm wondering if I get any play doing this. Although b7, yeah, it's the target again, and bishop, yeah. And then bishop g5. And pieces are bad, aren't they? Rook b8. Try and get the rook active with b5. At least. This is going to be horrible, isn't it? I'm just wondering, bishop e6, try and untangle if I can. b5, rook c8. If I can try and untangle, probably not going to be given too much of a chance to do that. I want a2 here. Don't want to simplify too much. Okay. Right, I could get an active rook at the end of this. So it's not so simple. Actually, there's bishop h3, isn't there? Oh blimey, I've set an elaborate obviously I've set an elaborate trap here to win my d6 pawn, which I set up as a permanent weakness from the opening. Sorry, yeah, that's ridiculous. The way I played that, it was. I gave the illusion of as I was defending the whole game. My pawn. I'm sorry. It was. Yeah, you can't. At that moment of winning material, you've got to be concerned sometimes about counterplay. That moment of winning the pawn. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. I didn't deserve to do that. I played the Caro-Kann defense here. Let's play a gambit. It's not accepting my cheeky gambit. Alright, listen. I was a lucky bunny in that previous game. Okay, I was a lucky bunny in that previous game. It wasn't really... I felt the position was defensive. Yeah. And he gave me an active rook. I did say about the active rook though. Yeah, that was anticipated. Okay. What can I say? Bunny interview over. Yeah. But let that be a lesson to you. If you're going to win a pawn, make sure you're not giving the opponent too much counterplay. That's the golden lesson from that game. Yeah. Isn't d4 just dropping off here out of interest? Knight e5, queen takes d4. Is this losing to play queen takes d4? Knight c6, I'm playing with check. Have I really just won a centre pawn? Yes. I appear to have won a pawn for not much. I can activate this rook at the cost of triple pawns. And also the other one, so I'll go for it. Both rooks will be immediately active. See that? I've accepted a totally ugly pawn structure for my rooks to be hitting f2 and b2 on full cylinders. And they're coordinating even on f2 here, potentially. Okay, but I'm dropping e4. There is a price to be paid for my structural concessions. Which rook does he use to challenge that one? He can't even take there. So how do I actually improve this position? Fascinating. Yes. I can actually even protect this pawn now. Believe it or not, with g5. G5 was actually useful. I didn't even intend it to be useful. G5 is actually useful for rook f4. I've just noticed. Okay, c6 is dropping. Okay, my structure has been compromised significantly. Can I try for an outside past a pawn? No, apparently. He's going to get a pawn. Improve my king a little bit. That's holding e4. A5 is going to drop off next. I could be getting dismantled. It's true. It's true. Unfortunately. I'll try for G4. No, not G4 without losing the rook. Alright, rook C5, rook F5 holds the A pawn. Let's not lose the A pawn just yet. Or the rook, if I play G4. Okay, maybe. What do I want to do? Yeah, this is, I don't know, going to be difficult, isn't it? It's going to be difficult. I was a bit greedy. This structural damage is actually not great. G3? No. Maybe King E5. If I'm not getting mated. I go for C2 in return, or rook C3, C2. Obviously, these are triple pawns. I don't mind losing one of the triple pawns that much. G3. I'm looking forward to a passed G pawn if he leaves that on. Why is this check? I've got a passed E pawn potentially. It's this first of the triple pawns which I think could be good. Could be. I'll take it here. Check. Try and drag this pawn down. Actually, I can join forces with the rooks with rook C3 here. Still cutting the king, so some pressure on C2. Some pressure here with King E4. Right, so I think I've got a good position now. Rook B4, Rook B1. Rook A3 for Rook A1. Okay, I'll grab this A pawn while I can before it turns into a menace. That's true. That's a shame. In front of his pawn, or cut. It goes in front of his pawn. Right, I need the D3 square for my king. He's not giving that. Give these guys for a bit. Got a centipede going on here. Is he going to give me D3 or not? No. Apparently not. Alright, alright. Play C4. I want the D3 square for my king. Otherwise I'm coming down to D2 here anyway. D2 is possible. Don't think the king's stopping D2 pawn. I think I exaggerate the centipede, I'm sorry. A centipede has got 100 legs. There's only 3 pawns here. I'm aware of that. Centi, 100. Let's not blunder the rook. Let's go for E2. Can I bring the others down or not? What about just to rook F1 business? Rook B1, rook F1 plan. It's with check. Now I thought the E pawn was the head of this little chain of pawns was important. Yeah, fun one. Thanks. Thanks for that. Okay. Let's carry on. Galactic. As in Battlestar Galactica. Or just Galactic. Let's play this weird exchange French, because I think it's slightly annoying to French defense players. This line, because it's slightly novel. I don't mind the double pawns because it's a G-file road to the king here. In fact, I'll pre-move that. Channel disappeared. Sorry, I'll look for it in a minute. Sorry, after this game, Simba. Hold on a sec. Okay, I'll look for it after this game. Knight e5 is also... It would stop me castling queenside if I played knight e5. But on the other hand, if I have a bishop on c4, all pointing at f7, knight e5 is going to be good. Bishop here, g4, knight g4. Also, he's got to handle b7 though. So I like this position because there's pressure points, b7, f7, and the bishop going here has weakened b7 anyway. It's also a free tempo handed out on knight e5, potentially, to hit g4. I know it's protected at the moment, but knight e5 also hits f7. So these soft spots, well, this is the king's soft spot, but these are all, I don't know, targets. b7, f7, g4. I would say just taking and defending b7 might be an idea, but I'm enjoying the g-file there. Oh, Simba, sorry, I had to put someone in front because I missed their challenge before. Okay, queen b7, is that too dangerous because of knight b4? I guess that might be the point. Fair enough. But what if I played c takes d5? I think knight b4 isn't as terrifying. Famous last words. b5? I could play b5. I'm still threatening knight e5 potentially, which actually holds d3 as well against this knight on b4. That could be a menace. So knight e5, okay, bishop c2, winning the queen. What about rook c1 then? I know there's knight d3, but I'm still holding on to an extra pawn here. That might be meaningful. I know there's knight e5 on the bishop. Bishop moves back. Well, it's a free tempo. There's the bishop going to a6. I assume it might be. Maybe just f3 and king f2. I don't have to castle if it's not allowed. So king f2 is a king safety measure. Castling by another lane. King f2, rook e1. Holding on to d5 quite firmly here. Bishop's not doing that much on the diagonal. If I play king f2 and have reasonable king safety. Bishop h4, I'm not convinced. g3 should be sufficient. f6 runs into d6, check. Pretty happy at the moment with this position. As long as I don't play g4, that'll make that more effective. d6 is possible here for knight f7, but is that actually convincing after? Am I giving too much counterplay? It's possible that bit. I can't see it though. I can't see it. So I'll dare play it. for knight f7. I mean, it's winning the exchange. Where's the counterplay? Oh, queen h4. Hold on a sec. Yeah, that's good counterplay. Oh, blimey. Queen h4. I can't play g3. Can I get away with king g1? There's not too many choices. That bishop cutting across here. Yeah, g3, just bishop takes g3 is mating. Probably king g1 is the only move. I can't see, okay, immediately how I'm getting mated with this. If I play king g1. Is it possible to play queen e6 without getting mated? Maybe it's better queen d7. Oh, queen e6. I can give queen e6 a go, I think. For queen h3. Queen h3 is not even needed necessarily. It would lose f3. It would still be a dangerous position. Probably safer something like queen e4. g3 is a little bit tempting here. If he takes my queen, I'll take his. Knight h3 check, king g2. g3 is tempting. Bishop f4 after. What about this queen g4? Hold on. What? Queen g4. I think doesn't seem to get mated, but I'll spend 30 seconds checking this. Takes. I don't think there's a knight e2. Queen f6. There's probably knight e4. Well, there's knight e2 after that. Mind you, then there's king f2. I think queen g4 doesn't get mated, basically. Well, I hope it doesn't get mated. Queen f6, knight e4, knight e2, king f2. Right, I can play knight e4 here. It doesn't matter about losing the exchange. I'd rather have my king safety sorted out. The knight's good on e4. a2 attacked. Anything else? If I play b3, can't see any other immediate threat. I don't think h2 is significant. Keep this on the c file, just in case. It's bishop d3. There's rook c7 threatening mate. Yeah, it's getting a little bit of counterplay. Thanks, Galactic. Where is Simba? Simba, we didn't play. Do you want to challenge again? I can't see Simba's challenge. Sorry, if you challenge again, Simba. Hello, Bam, Sim, and Travedy. Okay. I'll play f3. this has been mentioned by Lawrence Trentz as an interesting system against the Caro-Kann. I've been building a repertoire recently and actually did some analysis on it. It was used in a key game, Ivanchuk against Jobova, which Ivanchuk won. It was very technically dangerous, I mean, for both sides. I mean, tactically dangerous for both sides. But the f3 system is, I think, kind of interesting, although obviously in general principle it's weakening a diagonal voluntarily. But I think it's an interesting novel like system against the Caro-Kann. So if you check out, I've written this book actually for it recently, this interactive, so I featured that system with f3. My not a book as in book, no, just a sort of online training book. So I'm threatening mates here. If g6, bishop g6, I think that'll be crashing through after rook f3 to h3. If I get this position, then rook f3 there. On h6, queen g6 looks sufficient. Alright. I'm going to just blunder the piece. Whoops. Alright, I have, haven't I? That probably wasn't the way to win it, because I've got bishop h7. And there's a problem with the rook now, and the king holding the rook and queen. So queen takes, rook f8. King g7, rook, well, rook f7. Right, so just rook takes f8, leaves the queen hanging. Right, so rook f1, rook f7, queen g8. Kick this out of the way. Right, so rook f7 for queen g8. Thanks for the game, Bams. Alright, Simba, did you... Okay, I'll accept your challenge next, because I don't know what happened to it. Hi there. Sinbad the Sailor. Huh. Maybe not so funny. Okay, hi there. So, are you going to play d5 against this Nimzovich? No. You're going to accept this gambit, yeah? No? Could leave me in trouble then, positionally, huh? Is that the idea? So it's a 3-minute game, but what about this pin? Isn't that annoying here? Playing c6, I should be happy, I think, if my king's not getting blasted immediately. So I suppose my concern should be e5 or something. That can't be winning for white, can it? Bishop f3. Castle this side. So if I rook e8 and d5, just double the pawns here. It helps control d4 as well as doubling the pawns. If I just double the rooks on f3, keeping the rooks on the dark squares away from the bishop, just for tactical prophylaxis. Oh, okay. Lesser evils to drop this, I think. Okay. Not clever by me. Could have just taken on h7 surely. I'll keep this pawn then, I'll play h4. Maybe. I want to increase my grip on the dark squares. Like with b4 or something, b4. Maybe there's a file of takes up king b6, rook a8. But my grip on the dark squares, I don't think this rook's coming to the a file. If I have a king on e5 and play d5, then the e file would be dangerous. That's bishop a7, c5, c4. Relieves the bishop of duty anyway from d4. So what do I do with the rooks? Play for d5. Can dissolve my double pawns if he's not careful. I'll play for d5. Well, it might be difficult to stop. Except I don't want to lose control of that e file. Put the rook here and then play for d5 to dissolve the double pawns without losing control of the e file. Right, there might be d5 here. So it needs to be prepared. Let's see. Improve this bishop slightly. Where can it go? Where would I like this bishop? Maybe on f4 actually. So restrict the rooks a little bit. Then play for d5 around here. Around here, without it being check, ideally. Around here, bang, d5. Alright, c4 now. Try and get some pawn mobility. Rook b7, b3. Gotta watch out for his bishop. I get my king to e5 and then rook c3. Pressure's starting on c2 now. Rook a3. Okay, another blockade. Bishop, rook a1 mating. Threats. King comes in. Rook g1. Okay, I started to try and put the pressure on there. Thanks for the game. Moby. Okay, Moby, are you ready? I got this line against the Caro-Kann defense I was researching recently as well. I'm going to try it here. How does it go again? I think it goes like this. Hang on, let me get this right. It's been mentioned by certain GMs as well. Knight b6, bishop b3 takes, queen h5 line, but he's avoided it. Call it an early queen sortie. I don't know what name officially it is. But here I've got knight takes e5. I don't need to allow the exchange of queens. So it avoids the exchange of queens with a bit of pressure on black. This gives me bishop c2 for later. This gives me a sort of Pillsbury bind. I don't mind the f file. Isolate queen's pawn might be an issue if the d5 blockade was really good. At the moment, this bishop's not brilliant. I say that, but okay. Bishop c6 is going to happen. Can I provoke some weaknesses over here? Okay, okay. Try and get rid of the isolated queen's pawn there. I think c4 and d5 coming up. Knight g6, rook g8. Is there anything tactical there? Alright, seals out. I mean, bishop c6 not as effective now. Loses pawn, whatever. I'm on b7. I think c4 for d5. Bishop c3, d5. Looks pretty thematic to open up these bishops. Break through the center. Bishop c3, d5 plan. So d5 plan. And cutting across the dark squares a bit. I'm sure that's okay, possibly a bishop f6 coming. d5 anyway. Which how to blockade on d6 is not. I'll carry through with that pawn. Knight d7 is your attack check. Knight takes d7, just wins the exchange, doesn't it? Because he can't take as a bishop f6. Seems to win the exchange. Bishop takes. Knight takes. There's no immediate check, well, apart from on b6. If I'm taking back on c3, it seems to be winning the exchange. Or material, in fact. Knight takes. What does he do? What does he do? Alright, thanks for the game, Moby. Thanks for the game. Okay, Amando. Okay. Pre-move e5 here. Can I play this without knight e5? Probably not. I'll stick with bishop e7 just in case. If the queens come off, I think d4 is quite good. The bishop's already liberated. I can already use the c5 square now. The concern I have maybe is this c7. Knight b5 on c7. Maybe just rook d7 and just kick it after. g4 is a bit weakening. Is that really going to be played? Put the bishop here. Knight d4, knight e5. There's no major tactic there, is there? Actually, there's also bishop d6. Probably I should, I don't know, do I need to stop that? Okay, hold on. Do this just in case. Not ideal, but I don't know what's going on with knight b5 particularly. c7's a little bit vulnerable. Sure, you can play knight d5, takes stuff. Do this over here as well for bishop g6 for a pigeonhole for my bishop. That's g4 is happening. Stops also g5. So bishop g6. I think bishop c2 after, just to try and win the d file. If I can get a plan for winning the d file here, or sticking the bishop on b3, that hits c4. A bishop here basically. It's not happening. Am I losing e5 soon? The way I've played it with b5. It's possible. Very possible. I could play knight takes to avoid this b5 business. I will do. So much for winning the d file. Symmetrical pawn structure as well. White's got a grip here on the position. This is still useful for a bishop on b3 to tempt c5. Alright, there's no immediate entry point here, but knight e5 might be threatened for rook d8. Is it time to push this pawn? Or is it too weak? It's kind of weak there on e5 already. Bishop d6, there's c5. So e4, knight h4, bishop h7 of here. At least the pawn's not dropping immediately. So knight e5 for rook d8. Knight e6, these dark squares. That's interesting that the pawn's been left alone. I'm trying to get a knight into f4, I think. Or do I play c6 to stop any knight d5? c6 might be playable. These two are holding this for the moment. No rook deflection just yet. Knight e6 is still safe. Probably knight g5. I was more wondering about bishop h7, g5 for knight f4. Try and get a secure knight into f4. So bishop h7, g5. I can't take rook d4 unless c5 there. Hold on. Well, there's always bishop f6 for winning e4 after. Can I tease some weaknesses here with knight g5? I wonder. Fundamentally, I'm still solid, I think. I'm not dropping a pawn yet. So I wonder what the next move is here. Basically, I could calculate anything. I mean, there's so many possibilities. What is he doing here to improve the position? The pieces seem ideally placed. H4 is weakening. Alright, give me the F4 square, a marker anyway. Go like this to F. No, I can't. What about C5? So I want A3 here. I think this is better now for me because time pressure as well as the dark square bishop seems to be good. I can cause some issues with the dark square bishop. I think rook c8 all of a sudden looks good. Can I dare take that? Knight f5. Pretty sure white's still fine. Yeah, well played, well played. Summer. Summer. Ready? Is Summer ready? Oh, he didn't press the tick box, did he? For automatically creating a game. Oh man. Okay, remember to press the tick box. You know when you challenge me to like automatically. I have played my move. I am white. Okay. He's there. He's there. I've been researching the Austrian attack recently as part of my aggressive open repertoire book. So I'll try this. Now, inaccuracy e5. I've got to wait for castling before going crazy with the h pawn. Harry the h pawn. This is the point of craziness now. Drive the knight back and sack c3. This is the plan, to sacrifice the c3 knight. Basically, as in Nakamura game played in Foxwoods Open. So Nakamura on his way up, he played in the Foxwoods Open and defeated the GM with this really dangerous kind of system. Probably I should take on f7. Actually, it doesn't seem to have done much here. ET has got like taking on b2. Maybe this isn't all that at the moment, the way he's played it. King g8, f5. He's got all sorts. He's got queen a5, bishop e5. Show goes on. bishop g5 and try and castle queenside. F takes is a bit of an overload on h7 here, on f takes, potentially. Queen b4, maybe there's rook h4 to queen b4. That threatens bishop e6, winning the queen. I think the immediate concern is f takes. Queen c5. Right, so rook h4 here. Hang on. There's queen c2. What about bishop b3 instead? B6, rook h3, bishop a6, king g1. I think b6, rook h3, hope. Probably get mated here. I'd really want to play f takes if I get a chance. Queen e4, king h1, I think I'll be happy. I need to play f takes to threaten e7. That looks like defensive move. In fact, e7 here looks really good. I'm taking, there'll be check here. If I take on f, bishop takes, check, rook f1 check. It's a good game there. Alright, bishop takes. Okay, it's resigned. Alright, thanks, fun one. That I've got that pet system. I've been checking up on it. Interesting one. It's probably yeah. Alright. Chess player 007. I mean, for Blitz, I've got this aggressive Blitz repertoire. I'm not saying necessarily it's good for one-day FIDE chess, but for Blitz, I'm building this very aggressive Blitz repertoire. Against the French defense, actually, I recommended the Reti Gambit, which I'm not playing in this session, but maybe I'll play that in the next game against the French defense. This is, I don't know what this is called even, this exchange with c4. an aggressive exchange variation. I might have got him on his own territory. This is what this means. If he's taking a minute in a 5-minute game to look at this position from scratch, so to speak, that's interesting. There's really a case in Blitz chess if you want to, you know, for a surprise opening repertoire, which is reasonably aggressive, not too unsound, obviously. I'm tempted just to do this, you know. Although knight b4 is probably playing with bishop f5. Yeah, knight b4 for bishop f5. How do I get rid of this knight? Oh, knight b4's. Oh, it doesn't do that. Okay. Do this. Take on c6. Is it too dangerous? Yeah, my king's on c file. Oh, d takes. Knight a5 seems to. No, there's bishop b6. No, isn't it? Two pieces are hanging after knight a5. They do seem to be. Yeah, sorry about that. Alright, thanks, Chessplayer 007. Okay, Barbarian King. Oh, did he press the tick? I'm white, I played my move. Did he press the tick box for creating a new game? I'll give him. Alright, better go on to the next challenge. He can challenge later. Okay, Barbarian King, make sure you have the tick box for creating a new game. Mac. Okay, we've got a London system coming out, haven't we? Is this? No, it's not going to be a London system. Oh, he wasn't premium. Sorry. The guy that challenged before wasn't premium. Sorry. I'm checking the chat now. Pardon me. Oh, yeah. I've got a technique I used before of declining them in advance to avoid mistake later. I was just checking just then to decline any which weren't premium. I haven't played any non-premium so far in this session, have I? Have I played any non-premium in this session? I've got to be careful here. I'm getting squished, aren't I? I'd rather him take and give me some dark squares than take here and give him a more mobile pawn. This is weakening my king, but I'm wondering if it's 95 might be possible. In fact, there's a bishop hanging, isn't there? Is 96 a killer? I wouldn't have said necessarily. Oh, it's winning the rook. Oh, God. It's queen b6, knight f4, queen b2, hitting c3 and trying to win the exchange back. It's the best I can see at the moment. I don't fancy a queen sack. Rook d4, knight. I don't think that's really good. 95, we can always sack the exchange. So probably queen b6 is the best try that I can see at the moment anyway. So if the knight moves queen a1, get my exchange back. Rook e7 looks dangerous. Oh my God. Let's get this exchange back. How are we doing here? Two knights and the bishop each. Same colour bishop. Doesn't seem entirely terrible. Fianchetto my knight to protect e6. Maybe king f8 to protect e7. That weakens b5 control. If I can swap this bishop off, even if knight e6, maybe b5 becomes possible, unless I'm getting mated there. And I will take that. So knight f5. Kick this knight, this rook away. Stop any knight g5. And protect e6 and g6. I want king f7. I want to improve my king a little bit. Maybe e5 after. This position. I'll get rid of this backward pawn. On knight d5, right? Gives me d4. There's knight c6 if needed. It's pretty needed. Yeah. Knight a5 hits c4. Well, knight e5 does the same. But this protects b7 as well, freeing up the rook. Yeah, I think if rook e1, rook e8, I've got a free rook. I mean, not as in... a bit down on the clock here. Can I get my king to c6 to support b5? 95 might be dangerous. I might have to consider knight c6. I don't know about this rook e7 king here. Well, there's b5 here, trying to break this bind. I've got past c pawn. If I can do something with that. Rook d1, knight takes c2. Might be interesting. Just over here for a moment then. Okay. It's not a check with the knight at the moment, so c2. Try and get my d pawn going. Technically, I think his pawns are winning. Can I get my rook to salvage anything? Yeah. There's knight f4 idea. Oh, gold. No, not nice. You can take to a draw. Please. Good one. Yeah, I was under great pressure there. Fantastic. Okay, old shaky. Old shaky. I'm sure I was busted. Actually, let's put to put a finer point on things, not to put too fine a point on things. I was busted. Those connected pass pawns. Yeah. Generally winning two connected pass pawns like that. Someone doesn't like the Smith-Morra Gambit. My opponent doesn't like the Smith-Morra Gambit. But I don't want to learn tons of Sicilian defence opening theory with every single variation having to be known in great depth just to survive the opening. Magnus Carlsen doesn't play that, does he? He plays the London system. You don't see him playing theoretical stuff a lot of the time. Okay, so bishop g6, queen d5. Does that do anything? Not particularly, probably. It just does nothing, does it? Because just giving them an active rook. It's not winning any material. I want to keep the light square bishop. Maybe just queen c2 actually on h7. So h6, bishop g6. Okay, I'll take on h7 then. Right, so bishop e4. Knight h4, queen e2 for h5. Knight h4 coming up. I'll take that before it's supported in a different way. I think knight g6 plan is kind of weaving and mating that around the king a bit to have a bishop on g6. G5 probably winning a piece. Actually, coming to think about it. Alright. Rook e7 threat for knight g6, justifying the knight. Put some pressure on the e file, also f5. So if I double rooks, maybe h3, bishop g4 even, this diagonal. So rook e1, h, I don't know if that's crazy. There's simpler ideas here. Take on c6 and yeah, there's threatening f3 potentially for mating on g2. Alright, let's go back to this f5 plan. Alright, so bishop c6. Let's say bishop c6. There's rook e6 at minimum on bishop c6 anyway. Can I actually threaten bishop? Is this ridiculous? To threaten bishop g4? I'll have 1, 2, 3. It's pointless. It's largely pointless. Bishop d5 on the other hand, or queen e2 threatens bishop h5. That looks nifty. Threat bishop h5. Also trebling on the e file could be handy. At the moment that entry point is kind of secure, but bishop h5 not addressed. Unless there's some resource here. Maybe it didn't need to be addressed. I don't know. For 100% sure, obviously. Queen f6. takes. There's rook e7 here. There's no immediate mate threat, except for f3 mating on g2 potentially. There's queen f1 there. There's rook h3. Rook h3, there's probably, well, there's queen e8 immediately. In fact, f3, there's queen e8. It's queen e8. Okay, thanks for the game. Yeah. Tobble 0-4. What do I want to play? Wait for your net first move. We got a sort of Scotch game, haven't we? By transposition. What's going on over there? Chat everything. Okay. Actually, this to stop the pin. It's interesting. The bishop's over here. I don't like that pin necessarily. If I went crazy, how would he react? Like that. Okay. I could double the pawns here. Doesn't look entirely bad. That knight g4. c6 and queen b6 at some point. I'm tempted to set up a fishing pole. I really am. I'm going to do it. My basis is the knight's good on e5. He's not accepting it. I'll force him to accept it. Oh, hold on a sec. I'm messing about too much here. Not necessarily. Because e3 is slightly weak as well. It's activating the rook. If I castle queenside and then think about that position, there's rook h4, rook h8, and queen b2. There's rook h3 immediately looks good. There's king g2 though. Is this knight b6? It's a right pain, isn't it? I'm starting to have a few doubts about this whole thing. Rook h7 for doubling, and queen b8 to f8 to h6. Rook e5 is threatened. So is that queen b8, or I get mated with rook e5, queen d7 or something horrible? Yeah, that does seem to be mating. If I step away, there's rook e5. Is that queen sack working? So if I play this, rook takes, queen d7. So rook e5 had to be addressed. So basically I'm stuffed. I'm stuffed, like badly. This is not good, is it? Can't move a thing. I really played this in not a fantastic way. Oh, why did I do this? Why did I play like this? I wonder. Wow. That was dumb. Yes. Too cheeky. It's knight c8. Yep. Oh, killed my rating as well. Thanks. Oh, don't set up fishing poles necessarily in every game. Well done. Yeah. Oh, that was really good punishment on the queen side. That was, I was played too cheekily. Oh man. What did I do? What did I do? What was that about? Oh man. Let's start from a stable position next time. Jeez. What did I do? There was knight c2 here. I'm in shell shock from the previous game. There was knight c2, probably winning the exchange. Jeez, man. Is he going to weaken d5? If he takes, I might take in a knight d5. The d5 square would be juicy. Oh my god, it's a non-previous challenge. I don't believe this. I don't believe this. I've blown it. Sorry. What do I do? Oh, great. Actually, you know, I'll move fairly instantly. Sorry, I'll move instantly. Yeah, can I use this to emphasize? Please only challenge me if you're a premium member. It's only because I blundered in accepting the challenge. Actually, I'm also, going above schedule anyway here. So I don't know how many. I was just planning on going anyway. So I'll just make this the last game. Actually. Because my schedule is usually like just an hour and a half. What time does it start? 12:30. It's approaching 2 hours. Isn't it? How long have we been in? It's approaching 2 hours. I've also got a horrible position here as well. Great. Not only have I accepting a non-premium, I'm going to get killed, aren't I, on the dark squares. King h1, queen h4, rook g1. Yeah, it's not that much premium membership in the scheme of things. For example, golf is a very popular and expensive hobby, and chess is very cheap compared to that. So premium member benefits include access to great tournament coverage throughout the year. For example, the British Chess Championship was really well covered on the site, and I was popping in for that. So yeah, it's great to become a premium member, and then you can challenge me in this weekly show without me regretting accidentally accepting your challenge and then trying to play instantly. From a worse position. So yeah. I'm just trying to blitz this. Yeah, I'm not going to try and use all my time. I seem to be in better shape than earlier. I think I was in shell shock from the previous game. If g6, rook g6, right? I get too many pawns. Is this too dangerous? There's rook c2. Oh, it's not rook c2. I'll just take that. I'll say that please become premium member to challenge in future. Blunder. I'm doing nothing here, though. I'm doing nothing. Did I get to the 7th with Queen C7? Alright, yeah, please only challenge me. You make me feel terrible. I'll play MGTOW now. This is over schedule, right? I'm playing this extra time. This is an extra time now, right? Hi MGTOW. We're playing an extra time. So I'll make this the last game, yeah? Central control or occupation? Probably occupation here more than anything. So I'm going to have the dreaded hanging pawns, am I? CD, ED, the dreaded hanging pawns. Play rook d8, bishop d6, knight g4 after. There's a knight takes and bishop c4 potentially. Bishop h2, queen e5, f4, queen e3. I could just play h6. That loses g6. Hold on. Or I could play queen e5. Knight f3, queen h5. Yes. I'll put my queen on h5. If allowed. Probably still this idea of taking on bishop c4. Let's get out this diagonal. Try and stop this tactic. Okay, queen h6 runs into knight f5. I have to think twice about this. There's also, do I just drive the knight back and play queen e7? I'm doing nothing in this game at the moment. Am I? Knight f3, queen, okay. I think we've just sorted out just virtually nothing except for this knight d5 tactic. Okay, second plan, bishop drops back and I'll play for d4. Which probably might do something at some point. maybe with preparation. D4, ED. It's giving me knight E4, potentially dangerous knight E4 if the knight doesn't go back. Knight E4, queen D6, rook F3. Knight E4. Okay, is the knight going back? Apparently not. Okay, so hypermodern queen A1 for bishop G7. But in the meantime, let's imagine the rook moves. Queen D6, queen A1, rook F3, bishop D7 I can ignore. The check, and he's got king E2 all the time. I got on this diagonal first with bishop C6 to B5. There's something more obvious here, like knight H4. I was trying to do knight H4, just trying to remove the defender without sacrificing the exchange. But sacking the exchange here looks very tempting for knight G5. Yeah, king G2, D4, bang, F3 goes. There's knight D5 there. Knight G5, rook F3, knight G5, knight D5. Bishop D5, rook D5. Knight D5, knight F3. That still seems too dangerous to me, this position, for white. This position here with knight D5, knight F3 seems a little bit on the dangerous side. I'm saying that because it could be in a pin. Check gives me queen H5 potentially. Not queen H5. And queen F3 potentially. Right, the queen F3, how dangerous is that? King D2. And there's bishop F3 first. And there's king E1 there. Queen F3, king D2, there's rook E4, there's queen F2. Probably queen F3. I'm just can we have a draw? Sorry, I've been too risky. Well played. I was too risky in this. Yeah. Obviously, probably white's winning here. Let's have a quick analysis. This has come out the checks. I think white's winning, yeah. And so, what's happening here? King C2. Just play rook D2. Yeah, white's winning. Isn't just rook D2 winning as well? Yeah. Oh man, I've the last few games my unsoundness level has gone totally sky high. Okay, I got to stop. I think that's a good time to stop. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks for coming. Definitely. My unsoundness has gone through the roof now. It's a good time to stop. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Okay. All right. Thanks very much. Hope you enjoyed it. And see you next week. Cheers then. If the queens come off, I think d4 is quite good.